10, but it's actually 10 past 11 because of daylight saving.
Okay.
You beauty.
How's it,
Doctor,
Matt?
where are you, brother? Melbourne.
In Melbourne, yeah.
How's it?
How's it? Who's saying hello to me?
Me, Hurwitz, Paul.
Oh, how's it, Chana?
Sure, how's
How are
it, Paul?
you?
Hi,
How's it?
Paulie.
Were you in Sydney?
How's it, Robs?
Hi, Rob.
Hi.
How are
Hi.
you?
Good, good. So nice to see everyone.
Paul, where are you in the world?
Perth.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And Rob, you are in the UK?
Yeah, in London.
Okay, awesome. Nice.
We're going to be having a function in London soon.
Traveling, Gila.
I wish, but this time I get to stay home.
Robin, didn't you go to Herzliya?
No, my sister did. I was the only one of my family to finish at Dingsfield.
Hi, Rob.
Hi. Oh, Tamar. Hi. So Canada, we've got Canada, Australia, the UK.
8 a.m. I gotta get my
Africa.
coffee. Sorry.
How's it tomorrow?
Hi.
Hello, bestie.
Are you the
Engaged.
Robin? Are you the only hostelot that what's
No,
its name
me
on
too.
here?
Tamar.
Ah, okay.
And Paul,
And I
didn't
just
Paul live there?
realized today, I have Shai's number, I have Smadar's number, I have Shannon's number, and I don't know if I reminded them of this.
Why don't you send a quick message?
Let me try.
Hi,
Did anybody
Maria.
get hold of Bram? Did anybody get hold of Bram Heck?
I think Shai might have some contact with him, but I'm not sure even if he's in charge
He's
of
in
contacting him.
Eretz Yisrael. He's in Eretz Yisrael.
Yeah,
Been there about 20 years.
yeah.
Hello, what have you got to say for yourself? Hello, Lulu.
Not much, Rex.
How's it?
Hello, everyone.
How's it, George?
Jordy.
Jordy.
Hi.
Fresco, I
Yes,
love
another
your, I
hostel.
love
Jesus
your,
Christ.
Darren Fresco, I love your
Hostel's
Facebook
taken
post.
over.
Paul, we need to do a hostel reunion, man. We need to start our own group
I'm telling you.
with other years.
This looks like a hostel reunion. It looks like the
Jordy,
hostel's
where are
taken
you in
over.
Joburg?
Joburg.
Joburg.
Ask Daddy to put Daddy's card details. I'm busy on a call.
Just get Daddy's
I
card
also,
details.
I
just-
also
just
want
buy
Daddy's
it.
card details.
Also want to say,
So you send Daddy's card details on the chat, yeah, and we'll all share the love.
Public share.
That was me. I'm owning up. It was Sarah. Or it was my son.
Where
Sam,
you
where you?
going, Joe?
Oh, we can't see a picture of you.
Oh no, my
Very
camera's
high.
off. It's Sunday.
Sarah, where are you?
On my camera now. Hi, Belzy.
Lou, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you?
Because I thought my microphone was off. Okay.
Where are
What's the
you?
time in
Your
Australia?
contraption looks awesome, John.
Where are you?
Bedtime. That's what time it is in Australia. It's bedtime.
What's the time?
Okay,
Isn't it
great.
1 in the morning, 2 in the morning?
No,
11
10 at
o'clock.
night.
11
It should
o'clock.
be
10 or
11.
11.
Jesus, we're getting old, guys. 11
Uh-huh.
o'clock and everyone's like exhausted.
Yeah.
Don't know about
Wow, all these faces. Hello, everyone. I am.
Asaf.
How's it? How's it?
How's
I'm
it?
Asaf,
I'm-
how's it?
I'm in New Mexico. I'm about to board my flight back to LA, and it's I don't know. It's like 6:40 a.m.
Oh,
wow.
How long have you got?
Well, they're boarding now, but I don't care. I'm just gonna take the phone with. Let's see what
Okay.
happens.
All right, cool. How's it going?
Good. I just was at a conference. I am studying something called psychodrama. So it's like group therapy, but instead of tell me, show me. So you show things from the past, present, and
Era.
future.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool.
Cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But New Mexico as a whole, well, not sorry, no, I shouldn't say that. Albuquerque, whatever it is, this place is
Yeah,
not
be
good.
careful who's listening.
Yeah, no.
Husky, you very quiet there. How you doing?
Yeah, all good, thank you. Just listening to everyone else. Nice to see everyone.
Haven't
You
seen
haven't
you in
changed.
years.
And I've got Fine texting me, telling me he loves me and I'm good looking and all kinds of things. I'm trying to
Oh, is he on
Process-
here? I can't see
process
him.
that. Yeah, it doesn't happen often. People tell me that.
Aski. I don't know why you outing us on this subject.
Fine, we can have this conversation offline.
You can't throw your mates under the bus on a public forum. You should know better than that.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. First got guns out, eh?
No, but it's so hot out here.
I thought it was raining in Joburg.
Chunky, you've gone grey, man.
Badly
He's got
grey,
hair.
You haven't
badly
changed
grey.
this. Grusin looks the same.
Thanks, Shorty.
Grusin, we got to meet at Sun City again.
We must.
Sure,
Good
I think you look
times.
the same, actually.
What? I look the same. Look here. Nah,
Everyone pretty much looks the same from what I'm seeing.
nah. There
Good
used to
sign.
be hair here.
Hello, Jode.
Except Johnny. Johnny.
Hi, sorry. Hi.
Who said that?
Bruiser.
I've gone bald. Cruisy, we gone bald.
Johnny.
All right.
Bald and grey.
It happens. Lauren Sweden, you haven't said much. Danetz.
Oh, welcome, Square.
Who's Stephen G?
Grunberg. Stephen Grunberg.
Where's Stephen Grunberg? Steve.
But it could be Stephen Graham also.
It could be Stephen Graham, yeah.
I see, now they've just gone. Mark Penn, how's it?
Mackenzie, how you going? Mackenzie.
Good on you.
Wriggles Mackenzie.
Sure. So nice to see everyone. Hello, Sarah.
Laura.
Sarah.
Ah, Fleety, send it, Fleety.
Oh yeah, Steve G. It could be Graham.
David, why can't I see you?
Levina,
Steve G,
you've
who
got
are
nothing
you?
to say. That's a surprise.
Wait,
You're
Steve's
saving
trying
it
to
for
talk.
this now.
Stephen G, you are on mute.
And so is your Av.
I'm just waiting for Ricky to be quiet for a second.
Oh,
It's
I'm
hard,
sorry.
Oh, wow.
and then we can say how's it. It's hard for
How's
her.
Stevie?
So as soon as she's quiet, then everybody can say something. Hey, Janet.
Hello, Stevie.
Quiet.
How you guys?
Steve, what's your surname?
Grunberg.
Jesus. Hey, Steve.
How you, Paulie?
Good, mate. How are you?
Solid. At least I have
Where
more
are
hair than you.
fella? In
Life is
Joburg.
good. Joburg.
Joburg.
This hair is a contentious issue, eh?
Oh, shut up, fine.
Shots
You've
are
got
getting
a bit of
fired
a
here
qualm.
early.
I was talking to Graham the other day.
Darren,
Where's
you've got a
Graham?
comb over. What are you talking about?
It's the only way to go, but you gotta make it maximize.
Oh, we can see you trying to cover part of the forehead on the side here. How do we do that? The side here, like, does that work?
Yeah,
Just
much
the
better.
side.
Amazing.
Good to see everybody.
I think
Janet,
we'll
now you
start
can
in
talk again.
5 minutes.
Yeah, you see what happens. I was trying to just like make the silence a bit more comfortable until you told me to shush.
Go
And then
for it,
that's what
Ricky.
happens.
You go for it.
Rick's,
I'm joking.
Rick's
It's just my relationship with
let-
Steve, by the way.
Let them all have it. No comments are getting pinged on this one. So we're all open.
Gilla, has anyone else joined or not really?
So far we're on 41. I think we'll give it another couple of minutes because we need to be set. Well, 70 have 43, 70 have registered. So I thought we'll just give it a couple of more minutes.
I know Candy was going through customs, Candy Facts. I think she said she was going to try hop on once she was through anyway.
Yeah. And Darren, we know.
Do you want to send a message on the group just to remind people?
I can do so. I'll say starting in 5.
There were a few people in the group that said they can't make it.
I saw so.
Mark, are you still in Gateshead?
I am, yeah, speaking to you from
What's-
Gateshead.
What's the weather like?
Not bad today. It's hot, about 12 degrees. They say the Geordies take their shirts off when it's over 9, so it's a hot day. But good, yeah. Also, British summertime, so it's long days.
What time does the sun set there?
I
About-
found these packing cubes.
Yeah, about 7:30 at the moment. 7:30, 8:30, but it gets up to about 11:30.
So it doesn't appeal to me.
Short
But
winters, long summers. Welcome to come visit anyone. If you're ever in Scotland or Northern
Thank you.
England, come visit. Desperate for people. We don't have many people coming through.
Thank you.
I see Ricky booking her ticket already.
Yeah. Come on to it.
Ricky's very organized. Yeah. Oh.
I've been to Gateshead. I visited Mark.
You have
That's
one of the
cool.
few. Thanks, Robin. I remember we had a good time.
Yeah. Interesting place.
You survived, Robin. You still got
I
back
did.
to the tail.
I had a little 8-year-old because I wasn't wearing a shirt. So
Someone a
asking
new game.
baby.
Hello, Kens.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to join in 1 minute. I'm literally just walked through customs.
How's it, Kens?
Hi, so long. Oh my God. So
No.
nice to see everyone. I'm
You
going to join
too.
in 1 sec. I'm literally just need to like walk out of the custom area. Hang on 1 second. Be right back.
Where's David Lever? Why is he not on?
Once I go to Perth, it's all over, you know.
There he is.
Yeah, because he did register.
Still thinks
Did
he's
he?
too cool.
Lee Hassan, where are you?
I'm in Melbourne. I'm here. I'm half asleep, but I'm here.
Hello,
We've got a
Nats.
25-hour day today. We're all like a bit jet lagged.
You've got the Aussie twang.
And I've been
Disgusting.
here 22 years. It's a long time.
I've been here 20 years and I still sound like a phrase starter.
Like, give in. Next quick.
Lenny.
Hi, Liz.
Hi, how you doing?
Nice to see you.
I'm struggling to sort out my screen. I don't know.
There we go. You're on.
So we're going to start in exactly 3 minutes.
Thank you to all who organized this. This is so exciting. I'm just walking to a place where I can sit. I'm in Florida Airport, going all the way to San Diego, across the country. Fun times.
Oh.
You're welcome. I'm very excited that you could all join.
Did Gary Novick not register?
Say again, who?
Gary Novick.
I'll tell you in a second.
I'm just messaging him.
He's not joining. I saw him this morning. He's not. I don't think he's at a football match.
Okay. All right.
He didn't sign on. Someone's about to log on. Let's see who.
I've said he got kicked off.
Yanksy, how you,
Okay.
boy?
Jessica, hello, my bro. You still,
What's
you think
happening?
you're varsity still?
Yeah.
Hello, Janksy.
Ricky, do
Yeah.
you work for the do you work for the foundation as well?
No, I don't.
Ricky is the foundation.
Who said that? Zada?
Me.
No,
Me, Rick.
done.
You're the macher. You're the best organizer I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you.
Mm.
And
Rex,
are you married to a guy named Cody?
Yeah. What did you
It's
say,
such a nice
Fresco?
surname.
No, it was me, Darren Gruzen. I said
No,
if you
what
were,
did you say, Bruce?
we would have at least got a tuck shop hamburger and some Bitcoin bites.
No, I think it's still coming, hey, Gila?
Sort it out, man.
It
Sort
sure
it out.
is coming.
So when is
And
the
Ricky,
main reunion actually aiming for?
I was hoping for May, but it doesn't seem like May was going to be pulled off. So I think we'll do a poll shortly. Well, not today. We'll have to.
Why
but
won't May
it will
happen?
be. It's because of all the holidays in Yonta. It was just an absolute nightmare.
Oh, okay.
Just use a King David Hall and open the tuck shop. It's easy.
oh wow.
Yeah. All
Grant
right, I think
Kemp.
we should start.
Sure.
We've dropped down to 41 from 43, so I think we should start. Okay, if everybody can please mute themselves, I'd appreciate that. I am Gilla. I work for the King David Schools Foundation. I'm based on the Linksfield property. Please don't interrupt when somebody else is speaking, and check that you are muted, because otherwise when somebody's speaking and somebody in your background speaking, it interrupts. No politics, please. What's going to happen is everybody's going to have 3 minutes to say like where they are, what they're doing, whatever you want to talk about. No politics. And I'm going to show a tiny short little presentation. Then I'm going to introduce you to Raylene Trudonsky, who runs the King David Schools Foundation. And after 3 minutes, I will cut her off as well. And then we carry on chatting. So please enjoy. And I'm going to call on Darren Factor to start us off. Oh, you're muted.
Okay, can you hear me?
Sure.
That's really unfair that I have to be the first person to start off. Anyway.
I actually was, so you're second.
Okay, so I'm second. Yeah. Anyway, I've lived in Melbourne for almost 28 years. I've got 2 little girls that live with me. I'm divorced. I've got a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old who live with me. And yeah, I mean, I work in RT. And what else can I say? Yeah, it's just good to see everyone after so long. Everyone looks good. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to talk for 3 minutes, but yeah, just great to see everyone, and nice to join up after 30 years. It's pretty amazing.
When last have you been to South Africa?
I went for Russell Katz's wedding about, I don't know, it was probably about 10, 15 years ago
Oh, wow.
that I went for that wedding. Yeah. I've got no family left there or anything, so maybe
Okay.
one day I'll take my girls
And show them where you came from.
and show them where I came from. Yeah.
What made you special? King David.
Well, exactly. I told
Exactly.
them tonight that I was speaking to all the friends from 30 years ago. They couldn't believe it.
Ah, sweet, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we call on Danny? Also Australia.
Okay. Hi,
Thanks, Darren.
everyone. I've lived in Sydney for 31 years now, and I remember King David very fondly.
I've got an 18-year-old son and a 16-year-old daughter. I'm very happily divorced. I'm a social worker. And yeah, I was very lucky to be in Cape Town in December. I saw Ricky. Don't know if I saw anyone else who's on here. But yes, I know there's a few of us in Australia, so I think, you know, sometimes we see each other, but it's great to see everyone, and thank you for Gila for organizing this.
You're welcome. Thank you for staying awake. Appreciate it. I don't think Dana Goodman's on yet. So would Lauren, you're also in Oz. Do you want to say hi?
Which Lauren?
The one in Oz. Is that Weinberg, maybe?
Weinberg's in Israel.
I saw Lauren from Australia. Okay, well, we can move on. Who else is in Australia? Mark Penn?
I want to, good evening, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. I don't want to have to go through all the nicknames that I got through the years because it will probably take me longer than 3 minutes. But I'm left South Africa 2016, moved to Sydney, but over the last 3 months actually relocated to Melbourne. So 3 kids. I work for HP, been working there for the last 10, 15 years. And that's my story.
Thank you. Anything funny you want to share from school?
Good memories with, let's see who's here, Gruzen, Jason Esquick. I see my good old mate, the MJ. And the last guy that I've seen, Mora. I see Mora there pointing at me, driving his car. Good to see you. And then the last guy that I've seen face to face on the call at the moment is my good old mate, Darren Schnachter. We got kids, we got same school.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. Nicola, do you want to say hi?
It doesn't launch.
Hello.
Pardon? Hi.
Hello. Hi, everybody. I feel like I'm cheating a little bit because I live in Sydney, but I'm currently in London. Just visiting. Yes, so I've been in Sydney for 15 years. Prior to that, I lived in London for 5 years. I have 3 kids, and I am a physio. And that's about it.
To be my physio sometimes.
Sorry?
Thank you for your attention to this.
You used to be physio for a bit.
I used to be. Say that again.
My physiotherapist.
Oh, your anything funny? Gosh, I'm sure there are lots of funny moments. I can't remember anything specifically, but I have lots of fun memories. It seems like almost yesterday that we were all at school, yet it's been 30 years. A lot has happened between then and now.
That is true. Paul, you're also in Oz. Do you want to come on?
Hi, how's it going? So yeah, I left South Africa in 99, in Sydney for 17 years and been in Perth for the last 9 years. Got 2 kids, 17, my daughter's 17, and I've got a almost 13-year-old son. My daughter's just started driving. I fondly remember starting to drive. I was living in the hostel, and I remember sneaking out, going to nightclubs and doing all naughty things that we had so much fun, smoking cigarettes in Matron Urison's apartment. So yes, lots of fond memories from King David, and particularly living in the hostel. So I keep telling my kids, so yeah, it's all good.
Where did you come from that you lived in a hostel?
I grew up in Clarksdorp.
Shame. I come from Paris.
Yeah, but I haven't been back to South Africa in 25 years, and in fact, we're taking our kids in December. We're going to the game reserve, to Cape Town, and to Plets, and we're very excited. First time in 25 years. So
Are you coming through Joburg?
For a night?
If you want, I'd love to take you around the school. If I'm here, I'd love to.
I don't know. Maybe I've got quite a packed one day.
Oh wow. Okay. Terry, hi.
Hi, everyone. I think I'm tricking everyone because I don't know how to change my last name, Terry Dinner. So hi to everyone from Sydney. I've been living in Sydney probably the last, when did we finish school? 29, 30 years. And I'm married with 4 children. My older 2 are finished school. Well, one's writing her year 12. My other one's finished school. They look at me as if I'm ancient, but I still feel like I'm in matric, kind of. A few aches and pains, but it doesn't feel that long ago. So it's just so nice to see everyone, and that's me.
Thank you. Has everyone from Australia spoken? I don't want to miss out on you.
No, I haven't spoken.
Please say hi.
Hi. It's actually really lovely to see everybody. I left Joburg in 2003. Married with 2 kids. I live in Melbourne. And when I'm in Sydney, I get to see a few people. So it's nice to see Danny, because I saw you last time I was in Sydney. It's really great to see you on the call. And I bump into other people every so often around Melbourne. The last time I was in South Africa was for Vicky and Nidan's wedding. So it's quite a while ago. And one day I'm hoping to take the kids. My husband's from Cape Town, so he's desperate to take the kids to come and see where we grew up. And I have no desire to go to Joburg, but I'm sure I'll pass through at some point. So, Gila, thanks for organising this.
You're welcome. Anyone else from Australia? I don't want you to leave without saying hi first.
I'll go next, Gila. I don't know, can everyone hear me?
Yeah,
I left
Nancy,
a
hello.
time ago. I'm Justine. Some of you might remember me. I left at the end of Form 1, so I haven't seen some of you for a very long time. I'm in Melbourne. I moved to Sydney first for 6 months, but have been here since then. Married to an Australian, 3 kids of 20, 18 and 14. And was last in South Africa about 12 years ago when my grandfather was still alive, but haven't been since then, but would love to come back at some point. So, and I've seen some of you recently in London and Israel, and yeah, just nice to see everyone.
Has everyone from Australia spoken? If anybody else, regardless where you live, need to go, please don't leave without letting me know so that we can hear from you. Please don't go before. Right, now we're going to go to the Israelis because they're working and I don't want them to also miss it. So Ilana, hi.
Hello everybody. I left South Africa 32 years ago. Thank God I've seen quite a few people over the years who come past through Israel. Thank God I'm married to, always said at the engagement, to come all the way to Israel to marry a Dutchman, a real Dutchman, because my husband was born in Holland, but he's been in Israel over 35 years. Thank God we've got 3 beautiful daughters, 17-year-old and almost 15-year-old twins. Love King David. I was there from nursery school. Many wonderful memories. Just things that come off my head. Mrs. Dewberry, that we used to laugh at her. sorry, Mrs. Dewberry. Sorry. And also just a funny short story. I remember in Form 1, everybody had to make shorts. And I couldn't sew for the life of me. I'm like, okay, Mrs. Thompson, I can make shorts. I can make shorts. We weren't allowed to take them home. I took them home. I gave it to Russell Cass's mom, who said she can help me. She overlocked it. I took it back, and Mrs. Thompson said to me, "We don't have an overlock at school. Zero." So that was one of my good memories of King David, and just so nice to see everybody. And thank you, Gila, for organizing it.
You're welcome. Thank you. Now I'm going to call on Stacey. Junks, where are you?
Hi. I've been living in Israel for the last 8 years. One of the best moves we ever made. I'm married to Stephen. We have a 21-year-old and a 20-year-old. Both my kids have now finished the army. I work in a global company where I'm the HR manager. It's really good being in the Zoom and feeling grateful. I'm feeling grateful to be here with all of you, remembering where we came from and celebrating who we've become.
Stacey, surely you've got a funny story or two.
Gosh, I was thinking about what I would share, and then I was thinking about who would be attending this. And then, like most of you remember me, I was at school only, my uncle Gary Block was my uncle, and he always used to say that if they printed days absent instead of days present, they would save a hell of a lot of ink on my report card. I do remember that I was one of those wonderfully adventurous children who would go, and there was a payphone downstairs behind the hall. And often I would be bunking class and smoking in the roof of the hall. And a couple of times me with different people would make phone calls from the tiki box downstairs outside the hall there. I don't know if you remember where it was. You went down those steps at the back and there was a tiki box there. And it was a really strange thing that on those days we had bomb scares at the school.
Hi.
Yeah. Amazing. Not sure who phoned them in though.
No, but thank you whoever did for giving us time off.
Are these dry shorts?
Yeah, that's about it. That's about me.
Would you change your underfoot?
Thanks, Stace. I can hear someone speaking. Okay, let's see who's next from Israel. Jana, do you want to speak? I'm sorry if I've said your name wrong.
Fine. Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Standing outside work. Hi, it's Jana, and it's so good to see everyone. Wow, such good memories seeing everyone, and it's everyone looks amazing. In Israel, I've been here for 7 years, and I have 2 beautiful children. My 19-year-old daughter's in the army, and my son is 15. And yeah, I'm very happy here. I've been divorced for many years, and I'm still in touch with all my girls that I was friendly with at school. And I see Stacey and Ilana in Israel, around. And I have lots of funny memories from school, but I've definitely chilled out and not as naughty as I used to be. So yeah, no, just great to see all of you. Really, it's lots of memories, and I hope to see you guys if you come to Israel. Please say hello, get hold of me. And I'm at work, so it's a little bit tough to talk, but I work in cybersecurity, and it's been a good hard 7 years in Israel, but I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. And that's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, who else is in Israel? Sorry?
I said thank you so much for organizing.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for attending. Is there anyone else in Israel who would like to come on?
Dana.
Hello, Dana.
Can you hear me? Just wait, let me
Yes.
unmute. Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay. I've been in Israel for June will be 20 years. Married to a very Israeli. He's been a brigadier general and then deputy head of the National Security Council. So it's been very hectic the last few years. I've got 2 gorgeous kids, 13 and 11-year-old. I'm a gemologist, so working in the diamond exchange, and it's been great. So, Robin Cohen, I miss you. That's it, not much. Nice to see everyone.
Thanks for coming on, and thank your husband for everything he's done. I'm going to share a video. And I would like to say thank you for everybody who contributed to the video. As soon as you see what it is, you'll understand. And here goes. Enjoy.
Oh, my Lord.
I hope you enjoyed that little clip. I'd like now to introduce you to Raylene Tradonsky, and straight after Raylene, Candace Factor.
Hi guys. So I'm Raylene Tradonsky and I run the King David Schools Foundation. And I just want to start by saying to all of those who on this call who look at me and go, was she in our class? Geez, she looks really old. It's because I'm a whole decade older than you. So, but just wonderful to see a lot of familiar faces and people that I know, particularly those of you who still live in South Africa. I just want to start, and you heard Gila, I've only got 3 minutes, but I do need to take up a good part of the time just thanking Gila. Lauren, I think it was you who said thank you to Gila for giving up her Sundays. Gila spends hours and hours and hours on these reunions. She really is the backbone of our foundation. And Gila, thank you for everything that you do for us and you do for the reunions and you do for alumni around the world. Okay, so what do we do besides have resumians at the foundation? I'm hoping that you'll all come to your in-person one because we're going to be having an in-person one at the school as well. But our whole reason for being is actually to raise funds. So we are an established not-for-profit. We reach out to alumni, those of you who've had the privilege of a King David education, and I think you'll agree it really was a privilege. And we ask you to give back and to be able to give others the privilege of a King David education. I always say at this point in my speech that I was a beneficiary of a subsidy. I had my education paid, which is probably the only reason that can justify my passion and my madness for the cause. I go all over the world. I meet with alumni. We have over 12,000 alumni across the two high schools. A large percentage of them now live overseas. Over 50%, in fact, of our alumni today live overseas. Of those that have emigrated, the bulk live in Australia, then America, then London, then Israel. So I'm kept very busy going around the world, which I love, meeting with some extraordinary people and some wonderful, wonderful donors who give back to the school. So if there's anybody on this call that would like more information, I just want to leave you with 2 more things. School fees today, probably in your day, was about 20,000 Rand. Today, a scholarship for a needy kid is 200,000 Rand. So it's only 10,000 US dollars, but it's a lot of rands. We are a not-for-profit, so any donations to the foundation, wherever you are in the world, we have tax deductibility. We have the ability to get the tax deduction in America, in the UK, even now in Israel and Australia. So that's me. On fundraising, we are having 3 wonderful alumni functions coming up. One in New York on the 5th of May. Please look out for the WhatsApps and the emails. one in Miami, with recently retired alumnus Steve Collis, who has just finished a remarkable career of 30 years in the pharmaceutical industry. And our last one is going to be in London on the 9th of June. So for those of you in those cities, please join us. It's going to be fun. Thank you, guys, and have fun.
Thank you, Raylene. That was very fast and very well done. I appreciate it. Candace, where you off to, did you say?
Hi guys, it's Candace Factor. I'm sitting in the airport in Florida, Fort Lauderdale. I was here for a bar mitzvah, and I have to fly all the way across the US to San Diego, but I actually live in Toronto, so a lot of traveling today. But it is so amazing to be here. I just want to say, Raylene, it's amazing what you do, so definitely want to support however I can. And just thank you so much for this. I feel so grateful. For those who remember me, I wasn't at King David for super long. I was there for 2.5 years. I left in 92. Sorry if you can hear the airport signal. But I was like, I can't get over how much I remember all of you and what fond memories I have from King David Linksfield. And it was so formative in my childhood. And I now live in Toronto. I've lived there since 92, and I'm married to a nice guy from Winnipeg, of all places, which is in Canada. I have 2 kids, 15-year-old, and I left when I was like his age. So it's like really, it's just unbelievable how time has flown. And I have a 12-year-old who's going to have his bar mitzvah in June. I work in technology. I run a AI-powered learning platform called Disco. We have lots of fun there. And the last time I was in South Africa was a long time ago. I'm just trying to remember. I was there for Danny Jenks's wedding, who also apologizes that she can't be here. And it's a funny story, but I was working and I actually surprised her at her wedding because I landed up working in South Africa in Port Elizabeth, of all places, for about 4 months when I was like 24. And I actually don't think I've been back since, and I'm now 47. So it's time. Yeah, just super fond memories and super grateful to be here. So thank you again for organizing this. And I would totally come to a reunion. So let me know when it is.
Awesome.
Good, because if you can fly, sorry, Raylene, I interrupted you.
No, I just said awesome. Thank you for that feedback.
Yeah. Candace, if you can fly Toronto, Fort Lauderdale, San Diego, back to Toronto, I think a trip to South Africa, it's about the same amount of time in air.
100%.
Good, good. Tamara, you're also having to run off, so can you come and say hi before you go, please? Mara, have we already missed you?
Sorry, I was having trouble unmuting the mic. So I'm also in Toronto, like most of the people that came from South Africa, technically north of Toronto in Thornhill or Richmond Hill. I also didn't matriculate. I left midway through Form 4 in 94. So last year was 30 years in Canada, which is crazy. I lived in Secunda, hence the hostel. Shout out to all the hostelites here, which we have to start our own group after this and get our own reunion going. I am married to an Israeli man that didn't want to stay in Israel, so came to Canada looking for love. We have 2 kids, 16 and 14. Been to South Africa twice since I left, once just to visit Noah and another time for Noah's wedding. Then I was scheduled, I'm a teacher, so coming at any time is difficult, but I was supposed to come in December of 21. I even took a sabbatical year so I can take my husband and the kids to come to South Africa. That was the South African Strand year, so that plan didn't go through, so it's still in the works. And beside amazing hostel stories, the shorts from Home Economics that Alana mentioned, same thing. I took it back to Secunda and Shai's mom sewed it for me. and I got like a 70%, and she's an amazing seamstress. But a couple months later, I hit Miss Thompson, not intentionally, with a netball on the head. So I think I'm good. That's it.
A shame. Oy. Thank you for being able to stay on long enough. Paul Salomon, hello. Hey, Paulie.
Hello, hey guys.
The reunion.
Where
Can you
are
guys
you,
hear me?
Paul? Yes.
I've just landed in Israel. Just literally just got to the hotel in Jerusalem. I don't live here. I live in South Africa, but I've just arrived here for a family simcha.
Oh, Mazel Tov.
Thank you, thank you. So thanks so much. Is it my turn to? Is it my
Yes,
3 minutes?
please. Yes,
Okay.
please. On your marks, Gazette, go.
Okay, well, firstly, it's lovely to see everyone. I'm just scrolling down here, looking at all the faces. Yes, a lot of you I've seen over the years who still live in Joburg, and you all look 18. And those of you I haven't seen also still look 18. So just so lucky to see you guys. And well done for putting this together. Everyone looks so good, and it's amazing how 30 years have passed, and there's so many memories, and it's just so interesting to see how the path and the direction that everyone's taken. So just well done for organizing this, and just lovely to see you guys.
Thanks,
So
Paul, and keep safe.
thank
Tell
you.
us a
Thanks so
funny
much.
story at least.
So I don't, I actually haven't prepared for any funny stories, but maybe I'll just give a quick update on just a summary of what's happened in my life since school. So I studied at UCT. After that, I went into investment banking for a little bit in South Africa. I lived in Australia for a few years in Sydney. I carried on in investment banking there. Came back to South Africa just over 20 years ago. And basically started a career in private equity, which I still do today. And got married 17 years ago to a Victory Parker. Can you believe it? Anyway, so I married a lovely lady from Victory Park. Her name's Talia. And thank God we've got 3 beautiful children. I've got my oldest daughter, Gabriella. She's at King David Linksfield. She's in they go by grades now. So I don't know, I'm sure some of you guys as well have got kids. I've still got to do the conversions to grades. So it's basically in Form 2, grade 8. I think it's a grade 9, I guess, and a 7. And so she's my oldest. Then my son, I've got a son, Daniel, who is having his bar mitzvah at the end of the year. He's going to finish primary school at King David Santon, and he'll probably also go to King David Linksfield. And then I've got a little Lot Lamaki. I don't know if those of you who left South Africa, if you remember that expression. Little girl Gemma, she's 7. She's in grade 1 at King David Santon. And thank God, life's great. Life's great. That's me.
Thanks, Paul. Asaf? Hi, are you on the plane? Are you allowed to speak? No. No. All right, how long are you on the flight for? So fingers, how many hours? Okay, so we'll speak to you in an hour. Jeff Said, what you up to?
Oi, boy. How did you come up with this order, by the way? I was hoping to go at the end, like S is at the end of the alphabet. Oh my God. And also,
I'm just looking at it on the top of my screen. I'm sorry.
Oh, so this is my punishment for coming late to the meeting. All right.
Yes.
Enough, I get that. Yeah, I don't really know what people want to know. Funny stories. I have to say, I actually only bunked once when I was in the high school, and I actually managed to get caught by Mr. Wolf on that day. It was towards the end. So I don't know. I don't really have anything really that exciting. Not anything I'd want to admit to anyway. Although, Paul, I have to tell you something though. I look better than I did at 18. I need to correct you on that. Anyway, yeah. So after I left King David, I went to Wits. I did part 3 of the math tripos at Cambridge, which is like what they call a master's degree in math. And I actually even managed to upset Stephen Hawkins twice whilst I was there. Did my PhD at Columbia in financial mathematics after that. Worked in New York at Goldman just as the market fell apart. And then after this, I worked in some hedge funds in the UK. I got a bit tired of that. I worked for a Saudi family office in Dubai. That was a bit of a wild experience. And after that, I lived in Israel for a while, working as a data scientist. And after that, you know, I traveled a bit. I know people have children, so obviously, you know, you've got like a limited ability to do things, but you know, the soul does need to wander a little bit. You know, that's wander with an A, not an O, by the way, in case we're splitting airs about words. And then after that, at the moment, you know, I decided to take a little bit of a break. And so I've been writing. I've got a novel. I'm actually shopping around at a few publishing houses and some screenplays. That's a little bit more up in the air. But yeah, that's sort of my story.
Sounds very interesting.
Well, thank you. Anyway, so
where are you living now, Jeff?
So actually, at the moment, I'm staying up in the north of the UK. I'm up in Scotland. I'm staying near Edinburgh. Oh, sorry, I should have said where I was. You know, that's one of the problems. You know, I find like I've got like sort of no permanent. The closest thing I have to a permanent address is I use the same WhatsApp number everywhere. You know, so. You know, I know it sounds terrible, right? Like, you know, I'm basically like the irresponsible person your parents warned you about when you were in high school, just in case you're wondering. Yeah, but yeah, so I'm here. If anybody wants to like meet up or go traveling a bit or wandering or whatnot, or also if you actually want to plan a trip, you should get in touch because I've been to a lot of places that are interesting that you might not consider. But yeah, that's the story.
That was very interesting. I like that. Thank you.
Right. Interesting is always a double. It's one of those things where it sounds like an insult and a compliment at the same time. I like it.
No, it's a compliment. It's almost a bit of jealousy that I'm sitting here with 2 children in Joburg and listening to you.
You know, what I would respond is don't feel jealous. If you saw the uncurated part of my life, you wouldn't feel that way. But yeah, no, I get it. Righty. I'm going
Grant,
back.
before you dash, can you say hello quickly or have you already dashed?
No, it's like I'm actually like perching outside the party, which is actually people are like staring at me strangely, like why am I outside? But actually, it's so lovely being here with everybody and seeing so many lovely faces and how happy everyone is. And you know, I think everyone's had a great sort of journey of everyone's had interesting journeys wherever they've taken them, ups and downs, and you know, much in the same way. I jumped over to London after school. I did a year at Disneyland Paris, which was amazing. Like that was crazy fun. I'm in tech now. I've been at Google now for the last 6 years, and I work on the Android team. I've got three lovely kiddies. One's just coming up to his barmy at the end of the year, a little boy, and then I've got another middle child who's also a boy, and then I've got my daughter's birthday, which is just in there. And I think genuinely, like I was only at King David for about a year. And I genuinely think of all my high school, like it was hands down, you know, all of you were like the highlights of my high school career. You know, you were all so lovely, so welcoming. And I think I had more lovely memories in that 1 year than I did probably from the previous years as well, you know. But like the trick and staying up till overnight, you know, going to Cape Town on all the trips, you know. I think I even remember, did we have like a sexy legs competition or something where we were all on stage at one point?
You did.
You know, all of the,
you did.
all of these sort of little crazy little moments. And I think there's 2 moments that kind of stick out. One, I remember someone coming in screaming, I need some arse. And I was like sitting there going like, what does he mean by he needs some arse? And obviously he needs ice because it was really, really cold. It was really, really hot that day. And I remember we used to have like the security guy who used to always be at the bottom of the hill that used to not let people through. And I remember one of us, when we got our driver's license, managed to get a diplomatic number plate somehow. I have no idea. Whoever organized that was brilliant. And I remember driving past him. And literally, as we drove past back to him again, he like stopped us and we're like, "Uh-oh, we're going to get in trouble now." And I remember him saying, "Please, sirs, would you mind doing that again?" And I was just like, that was the best thing that a policeman has ever said to me when we literally broke the rules with him. Genuinely, everybody was amazing, and thank you so much for being so brilliant. And you know, if you're in London. As you can tell, the weather's very nice at the moment. I'd love to hang out with all of you, and also anyone is interested in wandering around, let us know. We're always happy to host you as well.
Well, please come to our function on the 9th of June. It's going to be lovely at Investec. I'll send up a
Absolutely.
WhatsApp a little bit later, then you can all come.
Cheers, everybody. Take care.
Ciao, ciao. Robin, you had a gorgeous little girl sitting on your lap.
And thanks. Yeah, hi everyone. This is just so special seeing everyone. I was David from 93 to 95 in the hostel, and Tamar is true to her word. She's just created a hostel group. I think it was the best decision that my parents ever did, sending me to King David. It wasn't easy for them. I went from the convent of St. Agnes to King David Linksfield, and it was amazing. Pun and just being part of King David, it was amazing. And I was actually in South Africa at the beginning of March, and my nephew, who's 8, is at King David and was swimming in a gala. So I went back, and it really was so special because, all of us, well, those of us who are all over the world and have kids maybe in different schools, there is no school like King David Linksfield. I walked around and it was just so special. And the hostel is the most incredible media center now. I went to the tuck shop. I bought a few things for my daughter. So about me, firstly, I went, the school gala got cancelled by thunderstorm, true Joburg style, but at least I got to see my nephew warming up in the pool. And it's just stunning. I went to see the new sports center. Wow, there's just no school like it. We were all so lucky to go there. So about me, I'm in London. June will be 20 years here. I'm what they call in the UK a gypsy, so GP with a special interest. Women's health, so I'm lead of a menopause clinic. We're all hitting that phase of life. I can't believe it, 30 years post-school now. I also do occupational health, and I love my job. I'm a single mom. I've got a 3.5-year-old, so best decision I ever made. I see quite a few of the London King Davidians bump into people from time to time. I've got a brother in Israel, and then my sister in Joburg, and another sister in Cape Town. And yeah, just to say, divine seeing you all. Everyone's looking great. And just how lucky we were all to go to King David. Yeah, very, very happy that I did that and left Welkom of all places.
Hi. Stephen Grun, do you want to say hello? Grunberg, sorry. You're muted.
There we go.
There we go. Hello.
Hey.
Thanks, Rob.
So I left South Africa just after matric. I spent 2 years in South America, then came back, and then I was doing a bit of a Bermuda Triangle between South America, South Africa, and most of Africa. Did that for about 10 years and then settled. I've got 2 kids. This one's my eldest. There's a couple of people that I see on this call that I'm blessed to see relatively often, not as often as I'd like, at least on a daily basis. There's some people that are now back in my orbit. Gruzen is one of them that I've gotten to spend a bit of time with recently. Some others that I speak to maybe once a year, which would be nice to speak to more often. And then it's also nice to see that the hostel crowd is here in force. So a couple good memories, some lifelong friends, some incredible connections. I was going through the group chat, and the one interesting thing was, I don't know, I think it was standard 8 with standard 9 or something like that. I used to have a bit of a part-time job, and my favorite customer was Ricky, Janet's dad. So he'd always pass by and have a cup of coffee, even though it's not exactly school related, but it's one of those things that I think I'd almost forgotten about, but it was nice to remember. That's about it.
Thank you. Rabbi Sean Bloch. You mute. You mute.
I'm actually at Genesis, just about to do a lift. It's so delightful to see everybody here. It's really, really amazing. Just in shorts, after school, I did so after school, went to Wits, got a BCom. Then the bug bit, I went to yeshiva for a good 10 years. Then I did something different to everybody else. I got an American. She lives here instead of the South African, going overseas. My wife's American. We live here. We've got 4 kids. Teenagerhood's totally different to when we were teenagers, that I can tell you. But it's all wonderful. Got 4 great kids. And and the thing is, I was after yeshiva, I was the rabbi of PE, Port Elizabeth. Can you believe it? Those who remember PE. And then, came back here. I've been here for a good 10 years, back in Joburg, and now work in insurance. I've been a broker for the last 10 years. And it's really, as I'll say it publicly, loud and proud, it was a real privilege to go to King David. It really, really was. And it's so wonderful to see everybody. I was really touched when my mother passed away 4 months ago, and I put it on the group, and every single person without exception sent their wishes. And that just shows you 30 years can go, but it's like 30 years we're still sitting there. And some people literally haven't changed, not a gray hair on them. Looking at you, Yoav. What's its name? Not a single gray hair. Some of us don't have any hair anymore. But it's a real privilege, and we can support King David in any way. It's definitely worth it, because that really made all the difference.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Nicole, do you want to say hi? Lana. Nicole?
How's it? So I'm still in Joburg, haven't left. Very happy here. Been happily married for over 20 years. I've got 2 kids. My daughter is in grade 11 at King David Linksfield, and my son just started in the high school there as well. Just occupation-wise, I just specialized in corporate eventing and a few private events on the side. And I'll tell you what's amazing is that even though there's like a lot of time that's passed, I still very fortunately actually get to see some of the people that we were at school with. Some of us have got kids in grades that are in both of my kids' grades, and it's just amazing, like after so many years, that we can still connect, and people are just so genuine and kind to each other. I think some things have maybe changed in the school system for our teenagers growing up, but just generally, King David was just an amazing experience. I think I can talk on behalf of all of us. And just got no specific memories, just happy memories to reminisce on.
Stunning. I'm glad that you enjoyed it, and I'm sure your kids are enjoying it. This high school's phenomenal.
It really is. It is fantastic. And guys, if anyone is not here, just to see the facilities that the school has, it's just unbelievable, incredible. And I think our kids are exceptionally fortunate to be in that environment.
Couldn't agree more. Noah, hi.
Hello, everybody. So I'm still in Joburg. Sorry if you can hear the soccer in the background. I've got 3 boys and a husband. So, I mean, it's very much a soccer house. After school, I went straight to study. I got my master's in law. I am an attorney. My oldest son is actually now in matric at King David Linksfield. And then I've got a boy in grade 10 at Linksfield and a little 11-year-old that's at King David Santon. I travel to Israel quite a few times a year. My family lives in Israel, so I do see a lot of the Israelis around. I make sure that at least every year or two I get to meet my bestie Tamal, who's in Toronto. So we make sure we meet somewhere in the world. Last time we met in Austria. We've done Cyprus, we've done Israel. So like Jeffrey said, travel is the most important thing that you can do to just free your mind.
I liked your
Yeah.
Vienna pictures, by the way. I'm sorry to interrupt your time.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah. So, I've got my own practice. And even though, I was thinking, like, me being the Israeli kid, I mean, when I matriculated at King David, I was only in South Africa for 5 years, landed up going to Rao. And it's not called Rao anymore, it's UJ. But just I'm married. I'm currently married. I married a Highlands boy, which I believe was every Linksfield girl's dream. And happy. I get to see quite a few people from our 95 group at the school, at shul, at the shops, etc. But yeah, we're still in Joburg, and Joburg rules.
Read. Lauren Sweden, my little Cape Townian, for now.
For now, but packing for Perth. My partner, 15 years, got a job in Perth, so that's in progress. We came to live in Cape Town about 7 years ago. Love it here. My daughter matriculated from Herzliya. We've got a 22-year-old daughter. I used to do Gilla and Raylene's job at Herzliya for a while. It was the hardest job in the world. And it made me realize how lucky we all were to have a Jewish education. I think it's the only thing that guarantees our continuity. So while I wasn't a great fundraiser, I was very, very privileged to work for Herzliya. Now working in oil and gas, which is very different, for a subsidiary of Glencore. I've seen Stacey. I'm still in touch with Stunks. Ashley Collins, she's not on this call. She's now Ashley Scott. I saw her 7 years ago. She's now in San Diego. I've bumped some of you. Tammy Morris, I remember bumping you when I still worked for Standard Bank. You were big into yoga. I loved your husband's movie. It was sensational. And that reminded me a lot about all grew up with in Joburg in South Africa in the 80s. Very special, lots of memories, lots of special memories, and good to see everyone here on the call.
Thanks, Laura. Tammy, I didn't realize that your hubby's Brett. Where are you? Tammy, our head girl.
I'm here. I don't know if you can hear me properly because my computer video is not working. So I've turned on my cell phone so that you can see me. So sorry if my eyes are flipping all over the place. My husband's Brett Morris. So hi everyone. Beautiful to see you all. A lot of faces that I haven't seen for a long time. I am living in Johannesburg. After school, went on an exchange year to Belgium on Rotary, and then I came back and I studied architecture. And then I did a year in New York and San Francisco doing architecture, the internship year, and then came back here and worked a bit, and then married Brett Morris, who is a Victory Parker, and had babas and stuff. So we've got 3 children. We've got a daughter, Jolie. She's in matric, and she's at Red Hill. And my son is also at Red Hill. He's grade 10. And then we've got a younger child at Victory Park. We live on the side. In fact, there are a lot of people on this call that I kind of think, do we even still live in the same city? I've been in Johannesburg and I haven't seen a lot of people because we're kind of on the side. And then had babas and sort of let architecture go a bit because it was quite tricky, but picked up yoga teaching, which I've been doing for years. And so I taught yoga for past 10, 15 years, longer maybe, 20. And now I teach babies, children's yoga. So kind of depending on where my life went, I followed it with yoga. So I taught pregnancy yoga and mommy baby yoga. And now I'm teaching nursery school kids as an extramural and anyone else who wants, and kind of selling yoga products. And feel very on the spot here. Don't know what else to say. All's good. Life is good in Africa. We have a lot of privilege for our education and the quality of life and the people that we see. And I suppose while we may not have lights and water sometimes, we are kind of protected, I guess. It's quite frightening to look around what's happening in the world. So I guess we're just thankful for what we have. Yep. That's it. Thank you for all the effort in making this little reunion, and then look forward to seeing people in reality in life when the real face-to-face reunion happens. So thanks to everyone, and just enjoy the connection. Thanks.
Thank you for coming on. Miriam Close, where are you? Miriam, are you here?
I am. Hi, everyone. This is so amazing to see everyone and hear everyone. So thank you so much for setting this up. It's really amazing and wonderful to see everyone, and that 30 years have passed. So yes, I'm in Joburg and married with 2 wonderful children, 16-year-old son and 13-year-old daughter. And I work as a psychiatrist and just completed my law degree as well. So I'm just busy getting into that as well.
And your kids go to King David?
Yeah, my one daughter does.
Okay, good.
Yes. So it's really been good, and just hearing all the stories and just remembering some of the memories from King David. Yeah, that we have been very privileged to have the opportunities that we were given and we were exposed to at King David.
Really is a fantastic school.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on.
Sorry, it's Noah. Can I just jump in here? Just about Miriam. Not so long ago, I was driving one of my kids to school because they missed the bus. And I said to him, there was a girl in my school that when we matriculated, she got an award that she did not miss one day of school from grade 1. And that was Miriam. And he just couldn't believe it. He said, but wasn't she ever sick, or didn't she ever bunk? And I said, no, the chick went to school every single day.
That's so true, remember, and us sitting there in the class, eh? Oh, thanks for that memory, Noch. Remember teaching us, and you're getting me into trouble, remember, in Hebrew always?
Yeah, well, I mean, you were so clever, and we had to somehow get you down,
We had too much fun.
We did.
Miriam, if your kids don't want to go to school, do you tell them that you had 100% pass?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, what? You don't want to go to school? Really? That's nice.
Shame. Jason Levine, where are you driving?
I'm sitting in a Starbucks parking lot because my son's playing a hockey game in a few minutes, and so I'm just kind of killing time here to stay out of the rink. So nice to see everybody. So I live in Toronto, Canada. I've been here I left King David in grade 11, standard 9. And I'll tell a quick story just so you can everyone appreciates how amazing King David is my mom drove me to school the first day that I came to school in Toronto, and right at the entrance of the school on the left side there was what was called the smoking area, and there was a bunch of kids in sweatpants and sweatshirts smoking cigarettes at the front of the school. And so my mom tells me that story many years afterwards, how she drove home from school that day, and she cried her way home because she was so worried that what has she done to me by taking me out of King David and putting me into this school. Anyway, though, things turned out okay. I didn't end up on the smoking area. I got an MBA. I work in real estate here. Excuse me. Run a real estate investment company. I've got 3 kids, been married for 18 years. My kids are 13-year-old boy, 11-year-old daughter, and an 8-year-old boy. And I actually brought my 13-year-old, well, I brought all of my whole family to South Africa in December. My original goal was to have him bar mitzvahed at the shul in Benoni, but it closed about a year and a half ago, so I couldn't do that. So we ended up having him bar mitzvahed at the base in Glen Hazel, and went straight from the base to Mala Mala in the Sabi Sand. So got to give my kids kind of everything that I loved about South Africa in one day, which was pretty amazing. But really, Toronto has been an incredible place for me and my family. It's a little bit, it's changed quite a bit in the last couple of years. It's been 30 years in Toronto. Spent the first 28 years thinking that this is the greatest place in the world, and finally found a place where we'll settle for the rest of our lives, or for my kids' lives and their future and their kids' lives. And now I'm not so sure anymore. I'm thinking there's a possibility that I might actually not stay here forever. So we'll see how that plays out, but feels kind of weird going that, my grandparents were not born in South Africa. I was not born here. Maybe my kids will not live in a place where they were born, and we just don't seem to find a place where we can stay for multiple generations, which is a bit of a sad state for Jews in general. Sorry to bring down the mood a little bit, but nice to see you all anyway.
Happy note. Thank you so much. Jason Nestad, are you still here?
Her name is.
So Jason Nestad here, is he still here? No. Ricky Kodesh, do you want to say hi?
How's it, everyone? Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Gila, thanks for arranging this. So good and special to be on here. Can't believe it's been 30 years. I'm still living in Johannesburg. Been married for 20 years. I've got 2 boys. My oldest son, Tyron, is 19. He just matriculated. And my youngest son, Jamie, is 17, and he's at King David Linksfield. When I go back there for all the sport or whatever's happening, it feels like home still. I've still got my group of best friends from school, and I still see lots of people and friends, and it's so nice. I'm parents with people I was at school with. We've got kids the same age or similar ages. It's just amazing to see. Suppose there'll always be this unsaid connection between all of us that holds us together, us King Davidians. I was at King David Linksfield from nursery school until matric, and I can't pinpoint one specific memory. There are just so many wonderful memories, from the people and my friends, to sport, to getting up to mischief in class, to the plays, to Shabbatons, to Encounter, assemblies, glance, or pun, and just the amazing spirit and vibe in general. We were very, very privileged to be part of the King David family, and I will never forget my days there and all of you. So it's so nice to see all of you.
Thanks, Ricky. Jody, do you want to chat? Jody Alexander.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see everybody. I am not in South Africa anymore. I've been in the United States, in Dallas, for the past 21 years. And I'm actually still in touch with a lot of people from South Africa. Nicola, Natalie, Vicky's not on. I texted her. She couldn't be on. She's starting her play today. I think the Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I think that's the one she's starting today. And Ilana, I saw Ilana a few years ago in Israel. It's great to see everybody. I saw Justine a few years ago too in Dallas. You know, King David was a great place, and I see that now that I have 2 kids here in Dallas, and my little Americans, when I show them pictures of 250 Jewish kids all at a Jewish day school, they are pretty like blown away that there's so many Jewish kids in one school, which we do not have that here in Dallas. We do have Jewish day schools here, but you don't have as many Jewish kids in the school like what we had. So King David definitely is a very special place with incredible education. My son is 16 years old. He started driving, which is a crazy thought considering we got our licenses at 18, that I literally have to follow him around on what they call Life 360 to see that he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. She is. And I've got a daughter who's 13. I am an accountant, both chartered accountant from South Africa, and I got my American CPA, and happily living here. All my family's here, and sadly haven't been back to South Africa since my son was 13 months old. My mom got her green card when I was there visiting so many years ago, and honestly have not come back since. I hope to bring my kids back at some point to show them where I come from. But it's great to see everybody on the Zoom, and thank you for organizing this.
Thanks for coming up and waking early. Did you get to have your coffee?
I've had 2 cups already, yes. I wish everybody a good Pesach as well. So,
and to you and your family, thank you.
Yeah.
Sarah Ellett hasn't. Sarah, have you spoken?
I think she had to go.
Yes,
She
I'm
has
here.
been on here. Are you there, Sarah?
I'm here. Sorry, I was just trying to unmute. Hello, everybody. So nice to see everybody's faces. I'm also still in Joburg. Like Noah, I've got 3 boys, all at King David. My oldest is in high school, and my 2 little ones are in primary school. And yeah, every time I take them to any events this last week was the Pesach Seder, I get tears in my eyes because I just am so glad that they're having the opportunity to experience what we did when we were at school. Been married for 17 years, and yeah, still in Joburg, holding up the flag for everybody.
Thanks. Alana Hummel, would you like to come on? Alana, yeah. Thanks, Sarah. Sarah, are you a GP?
No.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Is Alana still here? Saw her name a minute ago. Okay, Greg. Oh my goodness, Darren Bergman, am I happy to see your face? Do you want to tell us
Thank
about
you.
it?
I can't at the moment. I'm in a bus, but yeah, it's been quite a heavy day.
I'm sure it has. How long are you in Israel for?
Till Thursday.
Okay. Great, I'm glad you're safe and sound. We're not allowed to speak politics, but just that you all know that Darren is part of the DA in Johannesburg, which is like a huge thing, and he's on Parliament, and he wore a blue and white striped tie, which he got a lot of grief for, and I had smiles from ear to ear. So thank you. Let's hear from our head boy, Greg. Where are you? Greg. Guys are killing me. Where are you? Okay, Yoav, how's it?
Hi, how you doing?
Good, and you?
Yeah, all good, all good. I'll be very brief.
Excellent.
Been married for 20 years, got a 16-year-old, got a 11-year-old girl. My 16-year-old's a boy, and my claim to fame is I'm married to Greg Hahn's sister. And Greg and I both have a PhD in tequila, and yeah, it's all good, all good. We try to enjoy life as much as we can. What can I tell you?
Where do your kids go to school?
Yeah, King David.
Oh, good, 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 good.
At King David. I love the school. It's actually amazing that how it's turned that my son, one of my son's best friends is Sam Fine's. She's not on obviously today, but Sam Fine or Fanaroff's son. But we get to see a lot of people from our year now. Now their kids are with my kid or whatever, and yeah, really, really, really awesome. I find it hilarious that my son's accounting teacher was my accounting teacher in matric, so Beverly Bauer. So really special with that as well. And
when you see her, what do you call her?
I do call her Bev. I do. I wouldn't dare when I was at school, but I do. I'll admit that until he passed away, I called Mr. Wolf Mr. Wolf. I had a problem calling him Elliot.
He didn't teach me, but I sat a meter and a half from him, and I also called him Mr. Wolf. Raylene, who was his pupil, eventually called him Al, and I was like, "Oh my God, I can't."
Yep, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But others I was okay with. And yeah, still in touch with quite a few people. I talk to Nicola quite regularly. Well, actually on WhatsApp or whatever. And obviously Greg and his crew, we're very, very close. So yeah, great.
Good stuff. Thanks for coming on.
Absolute pleasure. Enjoyed it thoroughly.
Good, good. Danette.
Hello. Hi. This is so weird. Hi. Probably some of you don't know me because I was, I think, quite quiet at school. And I now see why, because I don't know, I think I was just amazed most of school that, I mean, it was a lot of people. I actually think I'm more of an introvert. Then I realized when I was at school, I thought I was an extrovert. Not, I think I'm actually an introvert. I'm in Johannesburg. What can I say? I'm definitely different to everyone's journey. Let me try. Okay. So I'll start with the good news. I'm engaged at 47, which is
Mazel
actually
tov.
some
Big,
good news.
mazel tov.
That's good news.
Mazel
Yeah.
tov.
Mazel
Very
tov.
Mazel
Mazel
tov.
I
Thank you
get
for
to learn
sharing
with the
such good
Chosin
news.
every day. I learn with your
You
Chosin
what?
every day, and he's amazing. At
Yeah.
Rabbi Hendler.
So that's I suppose like that's the good news. I don't know if I'll have kids, which is not good news. Yeah, it's been a long, interesting journey because after school I went to Israel for the year, on Machon, which was like, I don't know why, and then I landed up at Neve, which is like a seminary, like Jewish. So I landed up becoming more Orthodox but not really wanting to. So it's been like 30 years of like, what is this? Judaism is really big. And so a lot of my journey has been trying to learn more about Judaism and integrate it. And I suppose like my last part of my share will be also a bit of good news. For years, I didn't feel comfortable in an Orthodox environment. And I tried to be like, be more Orthodox. And I just like couldn't do it. And then I started thinking back to what we got as kids. And that was one of the only things that calmed me down in terms of becoming more Orthodox was remembering like making Shavuot baskets. We take shoe baskets and put fruit and take them to shul, and they gave them out. Like that for me was so much more profound. I just don't know why I couldn't get that bigger than that. Like at Pesach was like matzah. So King David for me, I think the best part was friends. But actually I don't speak to that many friends. But friends and standards. King David taught me. I mean, I suppose also our grandparents taught us that there's a certain level that you have to keep, like a standard. Like King David, the school grounds were always clean, things were always organized. I actually qualified as a teacher, so I actually worked at King David for like a year, teaching davening. I know that's a bit of a shock, but anyway. But King David taught me a standard. So that's, I think, the best thing that I got out of King David was that and a few good friends and the sweetness of Judaism. It was very gentle. We got a very sweet, gentle Judaism, and I thought that was really good as well. And yeah, that's my share for the moment.
Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Dana. Dana? Can I help you unmute?
I'm back, Ella. Should I chat? Sorry, I was driving.
I apologize. Yes, please, Greg.
How's it, guys? Sorry, I was driving there for a few minutes. It's awesome to reconnect with everybody, see some of the old faces, some of the new faces. I still see quite a lot of you, a lot of you guys, because I live in Johannesburg. I'm married to Talia Bloomberg, who you will remember. She sends apologies. She couldn't make the call. I've got two kids. Jessica is 20 in 2 weeks. She's at UCT studying in her second year. Alex is my son. He turns 18 in 2.5 weeks. He's at Linksfield. Jess was also at Linksfield. What else about me? I finished school, went the accounting route, worked in investment banking for about 15 years. And now I'm in chemicals. And I promise to tell a funny story at the in-person reunion. I promise. Or several.
Greg, Jess was at school with my Lexi. They did art and drama together.
Quite right, exactly. She loved art.
Love my Lex too. All right, so we're going to hold you to that funny story. Any words of wisdom as the head boy you want to give?
Sure, not much. I must say that, going back to King David, watching my son play rugby and being part of some of the activities that, it brings back amazingly fond memories. So it's still an incredible place. I don't know what it is. It teaches you something. There's a network that is created that's very powerful, very.
Couldn't agree more. Mark, hello.
Hello, I've patiently waited to speak again. Very hard to speak after Danit. That was a beautiful story you shared with us. Thank you very much. Made me quite emotional. And after Greg, I've got such fun memories of, and everyone. Just a little bit about me. I left King David. I went to UCT. I studied medicine. I'm a doctor. I live in northeast England, small town called Gateshead, and Orthodox town. I serve the community here. There are about 5 or 6 yeshivas and kollels. I also run an urgent care service. I've got 3 kids, 19, how old are you? 16 and 14. And yeah, very happy and just very, very fun memories. I think that's really the place that built me, gave me the confidence, gave me the ability to believe in myself. And those 5 years, they're very short now, being 47 or 48. They definitely gave me the ability to do things afterwards. So I want to take this opportunity just to thank everyone on the call. I think almost everyone's contributed to that. And I don't really know what I'd be without that experience. So thank you all.
Thanks, Mark. That's very kind. Ayal, are you here?
Yeah, I am.
How's it?
Hi, yeah, hi, it's nice to see everybody again, to catch up. So the more surprising thing is, it's one thing about people who've lived in Australia.
Wait, you're breaking up.
Actually, how many people? This is more the strange thing. But yeah, I mean, I live in Joburg, in Sandton. I mean, I've got 4 boys that don't go to King David. They go to yeshiva. I still get excited though sometimes when I have to take them to an extramural or whatever, they're playing sport or doing some activity at King David. So, but yeah, been married for, I don't know, 16, 17 years. And yeah, just very happy living in Joburg. I mean, I suppose I get to see a lot of people from our standard all the time, but I suppose if you're not in that, I mean, Sandton, if you're not in that like Sandton community, if you're not, I suppose, school or shul or work, you don't tend to see people. So, but it is nice to catch up with everybody again.
Good. I'm glad you came on and took the time. Appreciate it. And we'll see you at the in-person reunion.
Yeah, for sure. I'm much happier in person than
Good.
on Teams or Zoom or yeah.
Exactly. Greg Hahn, rather late than never. Hello.
Hi everyone. Sorry, I was actually at a work call. It's just ended, so I heard you messaging me asking me where I am. Yeah, it's lovely to see so many familiar faces. I live in Cape Town. I've been living the dream now for 12 years. Definitely the best place in the world, if I do say so myself. I won't show you the view today because it's like 25 degrees and like not a breath of wind or or cloud. Yeah, I think for me, I haven't been back to the school. I think I've maybe been once since we left. But I think for me, the friendships I've maintained, all of our close friends that are still in the country. I'm sure most of you remember them, the Dungeon, Husky, Cell, Idan, Gary, Pim. And I think it was really the foundation. I met most of the guys when I came from Fairways in Standard 6, and we've maintained our friendships for that long. And I think that it's testament to the school. It was also a great experience for me coming from a government school to a Jewish high school. My daughter's currently at a government school, well, sorry, a private school, but not the Jewish day school in Cape Town. And when making the move, I was always like, well, we can always send her back during high school if she wants to. But I think, yeah, just it is a great place, to echo what Sean said, like, and just the memories are amazing. I think a lot of the guys have been back recently to watch rugby. My nephew's now playing rugby, listening to him speak, it's exciting. I think the new center, the paddle court, is probably what's excited me the most to go back to the school when I'm up in Joburg. Is playing a lot of paddle, reliving my squash youth. And yeah, it's just nice to see everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. I've got one daughter. I'm recently divorced, so that's life, unfortunately. But I think it's yeah, it's always good to catch up with people.
Greg, after paddle, you can go and sit in the ice bath. Please don't forget the ice baths.
I know we actually use the ocean, which is quite lekker. It's I think it's the OG ice bath, and I think Joburg is being very let's call it innovative. People have come up with good ideas to simulate having the ocean. But yeah, but I think of course, no, it's amazing that they built the sports center. And
It
that's
is
also,
phenomenal.
I think
Was
it's
a guy
testament.
who's
Yeah, it's
sorry.
testament to the school because whoever, I know it was a donor and but it's great to have the facility built.
Yeah. It was basically one donor from Chicago who is passionate about sport. And it was like his brainchild, he's everything. So very lucky. I hope our kids realize that. Okay, Danny. Danny, are you still here? Okay, let's get to the Darrens.
Sorry, can I add one thing?
Yeah, of course
The
you
one
can.
thing about coming up to Joburg is going to Teta Marie to have the double dog and that's the mince on the burger. What's it called? That's
Sloppy
like exactly
Joe.
what the sloppy Joe. Exactly what we used to have from the tuck shop. Still with the beacon bites. I mean, there's a little bit of price inflation. I think what was R3.50 back in the day is now like 145 Rand, but that's unfortunately SA. But yeah, that's
I've
yeah.
actually heard that the tuck shops become like very high end with like, almost like a coffee shop, or is this just like propaganda that's been spreading? Because I haven't been back anywhere near King David for like, I don't know, 30, 40 years, maybe longer, something like that. How was the experience?
Well, the tuck shop there's a coffee bar and you can get
That's what I heard.
bagels and sloppy joes.
It's very sophisticated, too sophisticated.
No, it's still good, hey?
It's the yids, Jeff. We always got to make it
No,
super high
Sushi?
end.
Do they sell sushi? Is there sushi at the tuck shop?
You can order.
Oh my God, please
It's
tell me
not
that
made
you're
here.
joking.
It's not made
Please,
here, but you can order.
please tell me that you're joking. Please, God. Oh my goodness, that's funny. That's funny. Because one of the things I'm sorry if I just might interrupt for 30 seconds. The nostalgia for the past, because when we grew up in Johannesburg, it was like such a totally different place as well, especially if you stayed on at Wits and it changed so much, and like I find whenever I return to South Africa, almost everything I remember is gone. I don't know if other people feel the same, but anyway, let me go back to mute. I'm sorry I butted in.
Every morning when I drive to work, I feel like the roads are gone. So I understand. Let's hear from Darren Gruzen.
Hi guys, nice to see everybody. A lot of familiar faces. I'm married to Cora. She's an ex-Davidian. We've got 2 kids. Aaron's actually at Torah Academy, but we'll go to King David, and Rachel's at King David in grade 2. And yeah, always familiar faces when you go there. People in standards who were a year above us or a year below, always remarking about the circle of life and all the people that we see. So King David's still a very special place, and although it's got a lot smaller, and someone was talking about 250 people in a year, it's certainly not that, but we certainly see a lot of familiar faces. I know Hershey spoke, but just to tell you, we came back from fan court this morning, and 5 of us best mates went with another 7 guys, and we still all play golf together. We're still all good mates, pretty much like Greg was talking about the dungeon guys. And I think golf and King David, and we've also got a breakfast club. I know Trevor Zilberg was very, very excited about this chat. I don't know where he is. It's poor form. We're going to have to tug it up with him. And Chunky will speak, but we're all still good mates. And it's a testament to the school and that my kids are going to go through that school. And I'm very proud of that. And it's nice to see all of you guys. That's it. Thanks.
Thanks, Darren. Jonathan Samuels. Jancy, are you here? Okay. Who hasn't spoken? There are quite a few. Okay, who hasn't spoken? Who would like to speak? All right, does everybody want to unmute themselves and then you can just chat?
Seth wanted me to read out his little blurb in the chat. I just need to find it. Where is it? He's on the plane. So if you don't mind, I'll just read out. He was on the plane. He wants to say,
Thanks,
hi,
Robin.
everyone. I left South Africa in 1996, a couple of months after matric. My visa expired. Some of you may remember I was almost deported, and Mr. Wolf and Michal Ben Nathan's dad, Zifron Navacha, had to help me get unstuck at the airport. We went back to Mexico City, did university, decided to do a master's in Melbourne, moved to Sydney, was in Australia for 14 years, worked for Qantas. I flew for the 15-year reunion, and Mr. Wolf took me on a tour of the grounds. I visited my hostel room. I shared it with Paul, Marsha, and Brad. 10 years ago, I got a job in LA and love it. A hybrid between Mexico and Australia. Not too rigid, not too flexible, aka corrupt. Not married, no kids. Recently broke up with my boyfriend of over 2 years. But would very much like to be a dad one day in this lifetime or next. I'm trying to volunteer in Israel this summer. Hopefully I'll see some people there. I literally departing on my flight, so just sending everyone love, and if you can read it out. So that's from myself.
Thank you so much. Geordie, you haven't spoken.
I haven't.
No.
Yeah, so Geordie's the hostel, obviously lots of hostel concentric memories, but great to see everyone's faces. I studied in Sweden after school and came back to Joburg. I married Wendy from the hostel as well. 2 beautiful boys, 14 and 9. They're both at Red Hill at the moment. And yeah, otherwise enjoying life in Joburg.
Thank you. You nearly got by,
We try.
hey? Right. Do you guys want to unmute and just chat amongst yourselves? It really works okay.
It's hard to get conversations
Darren
going.
Bergman, say something.
Yeah,
Yes, please, Councillor.
Inspiring.
Who just said that? I didn't get to introduce myself because I had my introduction done for me.
I was excited. What can I say?
Thanks, kiddo. Yeah, no, it's great to see everyone, and I'm glad to have made at least the last 5 minutes of the introductions. I'm sorry I've missed most of the introductions, but it's nice to see some faces. There's a lot of cameras switched off, so I couldn't exactly cyber-stalk the other faces. I'm sorry I missed some of the old Benoni boys' introductions. I see that some of them are here. And yeah, I don't know what else I can tell you except for the fact that I'm also still in Johannesburg and Cape Town, and got children at King David as well. So
Your wife's in charge of Joburg Jewish mummies.
yes, that's true.
That's a job on its own.
Just not a paying one.
Shame, I'm sure. She must, yeah, watch that poor girl go through, I'm sure.
One of those jobs you pay to do.
Mm. So anyone else got anything to say?
It was really
I
good
wanna
seeing
do-
everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you, Killer. Thank you, Killer. Thank you so much for this.
Thanks for coming on, and we'll see you at the in person. Sorry?
Maybe. Okay. Maybe.
Been pressured
When
into
is
coming
this?
now.
When
We still
is
got to
it?
work on a date.
Okay.
I mean, one thing about the Johannesburg one, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say this. Maybe later is better, ergo when it's kind of summerish in South Africa. So like you can actually get more people from abroad to be tempted to come back, or I don't know. I'm just throwing out some ideas. I'm not that's, by the way, that's not a guarantee from me. I need to be very clear about that before anybody interprets it that way. But yeah,
I thought you were
look,
offering to put it together.
please, I'm like the most unreliable person from our year. I think it said so in the book, right? That I'm like the least reliable person. So
Jeff, you can't talk about yourself like that. It's not allowed.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Appreciate it.
We all have our good points and our bad points. And if anything from this, just seeing everyone here and hearing your stories, it's like calming to know that everyone has like their points of where they get it together and then their points where they're still working on it. So if
Right.
you've got points, I've also got points that are like I'm still
No,
working on. And
no, look, I always say to people, the ideal moment to like complete all of your life's ambitions is about 5 minutes before you die. So, I totally agree with you on all of that. And maybe it's a little bit of misplaced self-deprecating humor. But, one of the things about catching up that I think is great is because, we all do move on. And let's be honest, like a lot of us sort of, I don't want to say forget about each other, but like drift out of each other's, sphere of thought, right? And then when you think back to people, you always wonder, like, where does the story go? Do you know what I mean? And like, what's really great about reconnecting is not so much like seeing, oh, like, X person has a startup worth $1 billion or whatever, but, you actually get to sort of see how the story is unfolded. And that's actually really interesting. I don't know if other people feel the same way. I feel like I've been speaking a lot as well, but yeah, does anybody have a similar feeling to that? Or...
What's your book about, Jeff?
So I have written a neo-noir AI techno thriller about an artificial intelligence lab where the founder apparently commits suicide, but they don't believe it. And the one guy in charge is becoming an amateur investigator to try and track down whether it was this shady hacker group or if it was actually the guy's ex-girlfriend who murdered him. And his lab partner, well, she basically wants to romance up the artificial intelligence. So she's trying to push him out so she can have the lab to herself. And like all the while, the AI is in the background doing stuff it shouldn't be doing. Like it's basically more or less the story, give or take.
Sounds cool.
Sounds very cool. I need to bounce. It was great seeing all of you. Bye.
Bye.
Cheers. Guys, I'll just say for me, who hasn't been connected to a lot of you for a very long time, King David, like the way I'm feeling right now, King David's a bit of a feeling more than anything else, and it feels really nice to see you guys, to reconnect with some really special faces, and it's a beautiful feeling. So thank you for this.
I actually remember you, by the way, from Mrs. Jacobson's accounting classes. I'm not sure.
I remember you too, man.
It's because you used to get kicked out as often as I did, but I do remember that.
Yeah, no, I remember you too, Jeff.
Jacobson, what did she used to say to us? I could be having coffee in Hyde Park with my friends.
If only she were, right? Oh, yeah, she said that. Is she
That's
still at
awesome.
the school, by the way?
Is that Manette Jacobson?
Yeah.
I think so. I never really knew her first name because it's easier to keep somebody a monster if you don't know their first name.
Jeffrey, you once picked up a desk and threw it in her class.
I never threw a desk in her class. That is absolutely not true, and I will sue anybody who does that to any news reporters asking about that sort of thing.
Jeffrey, you also threw me back in grade 1. You threw me back on the chair.
Oh my goodness me! I knew I was going to get attacked. This is why I'm in half a mind about.
But it's okay. Okay, I've gotten over it. Grade 1, little child.
Look, you guys all
thrown
know
back.
that, like, without me, you wouldn't be the spectacular people you are now. So
Totally.
okay, I can take the roasting. I'm happy to do it. I actually wanted to ask something. especially the people who are in Johannesburg and at the school, like, does anybody know whatever happened to Sharon Seftel, or like if she still teaches or anything like that? She used to do English. The reason I ask is because I feel like she was like the only teacher who actually liked me. So like, I'm curious, whatever happened to her.
Sharon Seftel.
She moved to maybe Red Hill or one of the private schools, and then I don't know what happened since then. She's quite friendly with Edan's mother, so he might know.
All right.
I think the last time I saw was maybe at Edan or Paul's wedding.
I saw
Okay,
her a
that
few
feels,
years
that feels
ago.
like a very long time ago, though. I'm just saying, like a very, very long, like not like a couple of months ago. Just to be clear on that.
I saw Mrs. Hart. Does anybody remember Mrs. Hart a few days ago?
I don't even. The
I
name is
loved
not
her.
even familiar.
I loved her. English teacher.
Yes, I saw
English
her
teacher.
recently.
I loved her.
Oh, Mr.
And
Hart.
she almost fell over when she saw me.
It's actually her
And,
school reunion this year.
I still have a memory. Darren Grusin, are you still there?
I'm here.
Darren Grusin, do you remember coming in with a flag, a South African flag, when they won the Rugby World Cup, barging into revision accountancy lessons? And you came, what's its name, with the South African flag, and what's its name, it was in the hall, or whatever it may be, and walking up and down, but the thing is, intoxicated that we won. You went to the parade. Do you remember that?
I don't, Sean. I don't. But
Well, that was the impact you had on me, I remember.
No, but Darren, I do remember selling satellite dishes with you and Bergen. Who was our fourth on the team? Do you remember? Cruz, are you there?
I'm here. I'm listening to you. I don't know. I have a vague recollection, but I don't know who it was.
Oh, come on, don't you remember? I remember we were like sort of trailing. I'm sorry if the guys on the other team are on the call, I'm going to piss you off, by the way. But we were trailing, and those guys were like all set to go through. And then we just sort of rolled the dice and, came close. I don't know if you remember that, but that was actually one of the best life lessons I actually ever had about business, where if you're in a bit of a tight situation, just try and throw the dice for the double six.
I'm going to stop the recording, but don't stop chatting.
I've got something quite cool to share, actually. I saw an article this morning, actually, in the Financial Times, which I'll share with the group here, from our set work, The Great Gatsby. I don't know how many of you guys still remember some of it. Did you guys see it? Anyway, it's a great article, basically talking about the relevance of that book, which I think was actually initially written over 100 years ago, and then I think F. Scott Fitzgerald, anyway, whatever it was. In fact, it was in the 1920s. Anyway, talking about the content of what Fitzgerald wrote about and how relevant it is today to the Trump era. Quite fascinating, actually. I'll share it on the group, guys. Very nice trip down memory lane and very relevant for today.
I remember actually telling somebody, I never read the book while we were in high school. Just a quick FYI. I don't even think I had Cliff Notes or whatever. It explained my performance in English. But I actually read the book when I was in grad school, when I didn't want to do math, and it was actually a pretty good book. So if anybody hasn't read it, from then, it's worth a read, actually. Although I have to say, just if you're in the States, by the way, like I believe it's West Egg and East Egg, that's actually on Long Island. This is like the old money and the new money part of Long Island. I went out. In fact, I think, is it maybe West Egg is the very Jewish part of Long Island? I guess obviously demographics changed over time, but it's a depressing book as well, because the decisions people make are kind of suck. But anyway, that's life.
Jeff, did you see the green light across the bay?
Exact boat, what's our